Hello, my YouTubers. This is Daniel Drefsky again for my VHS tape series of the He Man and the Masters of the Universe. He Man was one of the popular cartoon character hero back in the 1980s when He Man was so popular. It's been created um, by Filmation. The series ran from 1983 to 1985 or something like that. Yep, He-Man is one of the greatest superhero cartoon character of all times since Superman and Batman back from the 30s and 40s. Yep. And you know, these are all the original He-Man cartoons on those VHS tapes. But I have the ones on DVD, not the ones came out back in, not the ones from 2019 releases from Universal Studios Home Entertainment. No, I have the ones that kindly released it back in 2010 on DVD from the different company. But these He-Man cartoons were originally came out from the days when it's been distributed by RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video, the company of the Columbia Pictures distribution. Yep, when I look at those He-Man tapes over there, it reminds me of my old Three Stooges volumes that came out back in the 1980s. Yep. The characters of the He-Man and characters in during of the series were He-Man and Cringer, and then before that they were Prince Adam and Cringer. I think Cringer was a battle cat. Yep, Orko, Teeler, Man-at-Arms, King Randor, and his queen. Yeah, Ram Man, the one with the spring on his head. And then and evil, and also their enemies like Skeletor, Beastman, Evil-Lyn. Yeah. Those are the exact cartoon characters. And the quote in the opening of those He-Man cartoons, he says, "By the power of Grayskull, and I have the power." And did you know He-Man and She-Ra were just cousins? I don't have any of the She-Ra Princess of Power VHS tapes. They're not that great compared to as the old He-Man cartoons. Back when I was a kid, I started liking the old He-Man cartoons when I was 10 years old, when I used to go to a Blockbuster Video on Junction Boulevard, Elmhurst, Queens, New York. When I was 10 years old. That's when I became a third Blockbuster Video member at Junction Boulevard. Before that, I used to rent out a few of those He-Man tapes when I was at Super Discount Video at the one at Casino Boulevard in Flushing. Yep. The voice brings me back in my old childhood days of those He-Man cartoons on those VHS tapes. Yeah. Let's begin with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Volume 1. On this volume, it has the Dragon Invasion and Curse of the Spellstone. Yep. This is the early 1983 original release, and it has it in a color film. It didn't have color and printed in USA not until late 1983. And this is not the reissue. Yep. This is what the tape looks like, early 1983 print. The next one we have is Volume 2 in the series. It has Like Father, Like Daughter, and The Time Capsule. The one with the Skeletor goes back in time, just has to do some evil things. I like these He-Man tapes back in the 80s. Show you what the tape looks like. This is the next rental. There is no print date on them. Now we got here Volume 3. That's the first He Man tape I ever rented out when I was at the old tape store in Flushing. On this volume, it has the creature from the tar swamp, and she demands sees demon of from ambulance, something like that. I can't pronounce it. The one with the Skeletor was just controlling the queen that think of He-Man's an evil person. I am He-Man, your friend, not your enemy. Boy, these He-Man cartoons are so popular back in the 1980s when they were on VHS tapes. Show you what the tape looks like. Yep. This is the exact duplicate as one of my earlier Three Stooges tapes when they kindly reprint them. Yep. Okay, the next one we got here is the fourth He-Man tape in the series. It only had 3 episodes. It is He-Man, The Greatest Adventures of All. This was the late 1983 release. And I know that they covered the Blockbuster Video thing. Well, I know it has like printed it in USA on it. Back in late 1983. And then by 1985, RCA Columbia Pictures home video reissue of these 11 previous He-Man tapes to make it for like the new releases. Doesn't say any print date on it. Now here comes my favorite He-Man tape I like. This is the late 1983 release of Volume 5. It has The Draw of the Dragon and The Song of Celeste. It has the VHS line logo on there. It started it back in late 1983. Yep. I like this one, the one with Oracle meets his girlfriend, Driel. Yep. And I like the other episode on this tape, the one with the Celeste was just a singer and Skeletor kidnapped her. And they used it to open Castle Grayskull. This is the late 1983 sticker label. All the rest of the He-Man tapes has the 1982 warning screen, even 1983 and 1984. But on this volume it has the 1979 FBI warning screen at the end. With these stones are sold in capital, yep. This is printed it on the 7th week of 1984. Boy, these He-Man tapes are so popular as one of my old Three Stooges volumes on VHS tapes. Hold on a second. Keep this cell phone. I'll be right with you. Now we roll on to Volume 6 in the series. It has The Return of Granamir and The Paws of the Game Master. This is the early 1984 release. Also, this other He-Man tape, it has the 1979 FBI warning screen at the end. The one they used on Volume 5. Yep. Show you what the tape looks like. Boy, I used to rent out these He-Man tapes at Junction Boulevard. This tape was printed on the 16th week of 1984. Trying to put this away. Now we got Volume 7. That's going to be out in mid-84 or something. And this is the first time they ever put it in the closed captioning. On this 7th volume, it has Prince Adam No More and Taking Castle Grayskull. No More Prince Adam is about when, like, he was trying to show his bravery to his dad when he was become like He Man. The same time when Beastman was fired by Skeletor. Show you what the tape looks like. This is back in early mid-84. This is printed it on the 24th week of 1984. Now we got volume 8. I think it was out in mid-late 1984. When they started putting... On this volume it has Demar the Demon and the Dragon's Gift. The Dragon's Gift, one I like, with like Skeletor turn Man at Arms into a stone, and He-Man and Teela has to go to Granomir to find the spell. They ordered them to chop down the tree, but they couldn't do that. That would be right. The first time in one of the He-Man tapes has like approximately 46 minutes on it. That's when, at the time when RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video started putting like the minutes on those tapes, since they did it the home video release of On the Waterfront and The Dresser with Albert Finney. This is the 84 release. This is printed it on the 49th week of 1984. This is an ex-rental tape. Boy, 3 more tapes to go and then this video's almost finished. Now we roll on to volume 9. That's got to be out in late 84 release. Yep. On this volume it has Return of Oracle's Uncle and the mystery of the man I face. Haven't seen one of those He-Man tapes in a long time, but I've seen one of their earlier ones recently. Gives me something to watch in the meantime. I got this at the tape store at 99th Street in Elmhurst at Video Rental. That was when it was going out of business back in 2006. I'm looking for a print date on it. I don't see any print date. What the heck? Two more tapes. Now we roll on to volume 10. On volume 10 it has Disappearing Act and Evelyn's Plot. This was released in around early 1985, and the stick label's got to be in late 1984. This is just like the 11th Three Stooges volume. This is an ex-rental. This was printed on the 8th week of 1985. God, this tape is old. Hold on a second. I apologize to that, my audience. Just the one of the cats was just sneaking in. Okay, the last He-Man tape I have here is volume 11. It is part 1 and part 2 of the House of Shakoti. Yep. This is the last one of those He-Man tapes, and then they made newer ones when it was released in Magic Window in 1985. And this tape I have right here, it's not from the United States. This tape I have here, it's got to be from Canada. the Canadian VHS tape. I got it by accident with the other He-Man tapes. At the end of this volume, doesn't have these films that sold it with the FBI warning screen. They have like the Canadian FBI warning screen at the end of this tape. As soon as I put this tape back into the box. Well, that includes my my He-Man and the Masters of the Universe VHS collection. Yeah, pretty soon I might show you some more of my VHS tape series, and I'll see you next time for more of my VHS tape series. Take care and stay safe and dress warm. It's going to be very cold today in the state of Pennsylvania and the county of Schuylkill County. Goodbye.